I wanted to talk about was practicing what you preach. You know what I'm saying? So starting with practicing what we preach, you know what I'm saying, will cancel out a lot of confusion and witchy shit that we deal with, you know what I'm saying, with different beings and entities out here. So for me personally, you know, I like to discuss things and inform people on things that I'm well-rounded on, you know what I'm saying, and then the same things that I'm informing people and different beings and entities of, I'm also practicing these same ideologies daily, you know what I'm saying, on a day-to-day basis, from the time I wake up to the time I go to sleep, you know what I'm saying. So it's not something that just happens part-time. It don't matter what kind of space I'm in, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm always trying to dig deep. Practicing what you preach, you know what I'm saying? It'll put you in a space to where different people and beings around you will be able to look at you more organically, you know, and be able to trust your word more. So with us being in the age of deception, I feel like it's important for us to be able to start figuring out different ways to be able to trust the people that we're dealing with and communicating with, you know what I'm saying? So if somebody is throwing some information out there, but then you see them sidestepping and doing something completely different, then you know this is one of those situations where you don't really have to take in that kind of information, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to tap into it, you don't have to touch it, you don't have to do any of it. You don't know what's in that information, you don't know how much of it is organic. Some of it could be organic, but the way the source is, you know, it could be like misconstrued information. A lot of people and a lot of beings and the system itself like to give half truths. You know what I'm saying? They like to put the truth out there a little bit and then mix in some bullshit with it. So that's where a lot of these beings and other entities around us get this same concept from, kind of telling the truth and then throwing some bullshit in there. You know what I'm saying? So like a small example would be like, say you was dealing with somebody and you motherfucking had to communicate with them to like meet up for a situation or something. It could be any kind of situation. And instead of this being like just being direct with the information, they'll tell you some shit like, yeah, I'm getting ready to leave the house now, which they probably are getting ready to leave the house, but in all actuality, they probably still need another 30, 45 minutes before they leave the house, you know what I'm saying? So that's like a small example of how you can mix some truth in there with some witchy shit, you know what I'm saying? And then we at a place to where we supposed to be distinguishing the difference between all of that shit, you know what I'm saying? Every day we leave a house, it's a war. It's a spiritual war. You're not always going to see that shit in the physical world coming, but you got to know what's up. And the more you study and prepare yourself, the more you're going to be in tune with it. But practicing what you preach, you're going to be able to tell if somebody practice what they preach by their fruits. You know what I'm saying? If I'm expecting this tree to be an orange tree, you know, these the seeds I planted, and when it sprout up, it should be oranges. You know what I'm saying? But if somebody puts some shit down, or if I put some shit down, I'm telling you it's oranges, that shit sprout up in some apples. That's some witchy shit, you know what I'm saying? So these are the things that we have to be mindful of these days, you know what I'm saying? And until something changes different in this matrix, we have to stay vigilant at this shit, you know what I'm saying? I know everybody operate differently and we all not moving on the same frequency, but the more we tap in, the more we get in tune with our higher selves within, and the more we find the right resources and information outside of us, it's going to be more detrimental for us. And then everybody that's raising their frequencies and practicing what they preach, we all going to be able to kind of vibrate and start moving and living on the same frequency. That's why why we see this energy shift happening now. You know, it's a lot of people. It is a lot of people, you know, doing false spirituality, or, you know, I really hate saying false spirituality. It's taking this information and just kind of using it as a weapon. You know what I'm saying? I don't really want to call that false spirituality, because we are beings first before we these vessels. But yeah, we just have to tap in and stay in tune with that shit. You know what I'm saying? So that way we aren't getting misused or manipulated in the process. And that way we can distinguish who's on what team. That is one major thing that I'm gonna constantly press. You know what I'm saying? It's a war out here, so we gotta know who's on what team. Yes, we have to operate within the matrix sometimes, but you can operate within the matrix and use that as a tool, opposed from living by it and believing in it. You know what I'm saying? If the matrix is your God, then you're gonna believe in all of this material shit. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna believe in all the jewelry. You're gonna believe in all the cars. You're gonna believe in all the clothes. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna believe in every nigga vessel you see, every female vessel you see. You know what I'm saying? Like, all of that shit is gonna be implanted in you, and you're not gonna feel like you anything else if that's the shit you believe in. But you can also tell by the ones who believe in that by their practices. You know what I'm saying? I know we only think of practice as far as like sports and shit, or when we like doing like, you know, practice tests or some shit like that. But, you know, all this shit we do out here on a day-to-day basis is practice. You know what I'm saying? Everything. That's why we get better at it, because we're practicing. It's a practice. So we have to open up our thought process, our spirit realm. We got the spirit realm is infinite. It's infinite. So you can dive as deep as you want. You know what I'm saying? So these was just some subtle signs for everybody to tap into. You know what I'm saying? And making sure that, you know, we practicing what we preach. You know, and if somebody around you not practicing what they preach, you know, you can scoot out their way, but if they in their way, you know, if they in your way, you better call that shit the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? We ain't let none of that shit slide no more. It's a war going on out here.